By midnight, I was alone. My partner was dead. There were German soldiers all over the city, and I had been ordered only to scout it. Instead, I decided I was going to take the city myself. My name is Leo Major, and on the night of April 13th, 1945, I walked into the Dutch city of Zwolle, alone. The war in Europe was almost over. Canadian forces were advancing through the Netherlands, and Zwolle was directly ahead of us, but we didn't know exactly what was waiting inside. German troops still occupied the city. A direct attack was being prepared for the following morning. That meant artillery, street fighting, and civilians caught between us. My friend Corporal Willie Arsenault and I were given a different job. We were supposed to enter the outskirts under cover of darkness, find out where the Germans were, and return before the attack began. Just reconnaissance. Nothing more. We left around 9 that night. It was so dark that we could barely see the road in front of us. We moved quietly through the fields and along the railway tracks toward the city. Then, we saw movement. German soldiers. Before we could disappear, gunfire broke the silence. Willie was hit. I returned fire. When it stopped, the Germans were down. But so was Willie. I went to him. There was nothing I could do. We had entered this mission together. Now I was standing outside Zwolle, alone. I could have turned around. That was probably what I was supposed to do. Return to my unit, report what we'd seen, wait for morning. But if our artillery opened fire on Zwolle, people inside that city were going to die. So I kept walking. The streets were almost empty. Windows were dark. Doors were closed. Every corner could hide a German patrol. I had my weapons, grenades, and whatever ammunition I could carry. But there was something else I could use. Darkness and confusion. The Germans didn't know I was alone, so I decided not to let them find out. I moved through the streets, firing from one position, then moving somewhere else. I threw grenades. I made noise, then disappeared into the darkness. A few minutes later, I would do it again from another street. To anyone listening, it didn't sound like one Canadian soldier. It sounded like an attack had already begun. At one point, I found a German officer. Instead of immediately shooting him, I took him prisoner. He spoke French. So did I. I told him something I wanted every German soldier in Zwolle to believe. The Canadians were coming in force. The city was surrounded, and if the Germans stayed, they would be destroyed. Then I did something strange. I let him go. I wanted him to return to his men. I wanted him to spread the message. Whether he believed me didn't matter. I just needed him to wonder if I was telling the truth. Sometime during the night, something began to change. German resistance was disappearing. Soldiers were leaving Zwolle. I moved farther through the city and contacted members of the Dutch resistance. Now I finally had confirmation. The Germans were withdrawing. The attack planned for the morning might not be necessary. As the sky began to brighten, the city sounded different. The gunfire was fading. The streets were becoming quiet. I had entered Zwolle expecting only to look around and return. Instead, I was still standing inside it, and the German forces were leaving. When morning came, I returned to my unit. I told them Zwolle was ready to be entered. There was no need to bombard the city. Canadian troops moved in, and the people of Zwolle came into the streets. They had survived the occupation, and their city had avoided the major attack that had been planned for that morning. But Willie wasn't there to see it. The man who had entered the darkness beside me never came back. My name was Leo Major. I was 24 years old, and that night, I went into Zwolle with one man beside me. I came out alone.